back to us. My name is Daniel. I am an old man now, but there is one memory I cannot forget. It was the day I lost my son. His name was Liam. He was 5 years old. He had small hands and big brown eyes. He loved to laugh. He loved to hold my hand when we walked. That day we went to the market. It was loud and full of people. My wife and I held Liam between us. For 1 second we looked away. Just 1 second, and when we turned back, he was gone. My heart stopped. I called his name again and again, but he did not answer. We ran, we shouted, we searched every street. The police came, the neighbours helped. We looked all day and all night, but Liam was not there. He had vanished. It felt like a bad dream, but it was real. Our little boy was gone. After that, everything changed. My wife cried every night. I sat by the window and waited. We did not move. We could not leave the house. We kept Liam's room just the same. His toys stayed on the shelf. His shoes waited by the door. The days were long. The nights were cold. I stopped smiling. My wife stopped singing. The house became quiet, too quiet. People told us, time will heal, but the pain never left. Every day I waited for a knock. I waited to hear his voice, but the door never opened. Years passed. The world changed, but we stayed the same. Inside, we were frozen in that one moment, that 1 second when we lost him. And even now, after all this time, I still see his little face when I close my eyes. It has been many years since that day, but I still remember it like yesterday. My wife, Sarah, became quiet. She used to laugh when the sun came up, but after Liam disappeared, she only sat by the window. She looked out for hours, saying nothing. Sometimes she whispered his name. We tried to live a normal life, but it was hard. We stopped going to the market. We stopped seeing friends. People looked at us with sad eyes. Some stopped talking to us. Maybe they didn't know what to say. Maybe they didn't want to feel our pain. Sarah tried to be strong. She cooked and cleaned, but I knew her heart was broken. Mine was too. We both carried heavy pain. Some nights I heard her cry when she thought I was sleeping. I did not speak. I just listened, and my heart hurt more. I started writing letters to Liam. I wrote about the weather, about the birds, about the old tree he used to climb. I never sent the letters. I just kept them in a box. It helped me feel close to him. I hoped maybe one day he would read them. We never stopped believing. Every time the phone rang, we hoped. Every time someone knocked on the door, we hoped. But it was never him. Just silence. Just empty years. Then, one winter morning, something strange happened. We heard a soft knock on the door. I looked at Sarah. She looked at me. We were quiet. The knock came again. My heart beat fast. I stood up and walked slowly to the door. I opened the door. A young man stood there. He wore a thick coat, and his eyes were full of emotion. He looked nervous. His hands were shaking. I stared at him. There was something familiar in his face, but I couldn't understand it at first. Then he spoke. His voice was soft and warm. "Are you James?" he asked. My heart stopped for a moment. I looked at Sarah. She had come to the door and was standing behind me. She gasped. Her hands covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. "Yes," I said slowly. "I am James." The young man smiled. I think I am your son," he whispered. My legs felt weak. I could not speak. Sarah cried out, "Liam!" Her voice broke as she said his name. The boy stepped closer. He had tears in his eyes now. I didn't know. For a long time. I grew up far away. A kind family raised me, but I always felt something was missing. I searched for years. Then I found a name, and it led me here. We did not wait. We pulled him into our arms. We hugged him tight. We cried and cried. I could not believe it. Our Liam, our boy. After all these years, he was here. He was real. He was home. That night we sat by the fire. Liam told us everything. His life, his journey, his questions. We listened to every word. We didn't want to miss a thing. It was like hearing the sound of life again after years of silence. The next morning, I woke up early. The sun was rising and the house felt warm again. For many years I had woken up to silence and pain, but now something was different. There was laughter. There was life. Liam was sitting in the kitchen with Sarah. They were talking and smiling. She touched his face again and again, like she still couldn't believe it was real. I made tea and sat with them. For a while we didn't speak. We just looked at each other. It was enough. Later that day we walked through the village. People were surprised to see us smiling. Some of them had known Liam as a child. They came to greet him. They cried, hugged him, and welcomed him home. It was like the village was healing with us. At night, I sat alone for a moment. I looked at an old picture of Liam as a little boy. I remembered his laugh, his tiny shoes, his questions. I thought I would never hear or see those things again. But now I had them back. I knew the pain would never fully leave. We lost many years, but life had given us a second chance. A miracle had happened. I looked up and whispered, "Thank you," because sometimes hope really does come home. The next days were full of joy and tears. Liam told us about his life. He said he was taken far away when he was very young. He didn't remember much. A kind family had raised him, but they never knew where he came from. He said he always felt something was missing. A face, a voice, a warm hand. One day he found an old paper in a drawer. It had his real name and the name of our village. That small paper brought him back to us, just like that. A paper became a key to home. Sarah cried when she heard his story. She said, "I always knew you were alive." A mother feels these things. I looked at her and smiled. She had carried hope all these years. I had almost given up, but she didn't. Her heart never let go. Liam looked around our home and said, "I feel something here, like I've been here before." He walked into the small room where he used to sleep. He touched the wall. He touched the old wooden chair. "I remember this," he said softly. "I think I remember this." That night we sat around the fire. We ate together, laughed and talked for hours. It felt like a dream. I watched Liam and thought, he's not a boy anymore. He's a man now. But in my eyes, he was still my little boy, the one I carried on my shoulders. Life changed after Liam came home. The house felt full again. The air was warm. Sarah smiled more. I walked with a lighter step. We planted flowers in the yard. We painted the old fence. The village people came to see him. Everyone was happy. They said, "It's a miracle." Liam stayed with us for many days. He helped me in the garden. He cooked with Sarah. At night, we sat and talked. We shared stories from the years we lost. We laughed. We cried. But most of all, we held on to every moment, afraid to lose it again. He told us about the family who raised him. He said, "They were good to me. They gave me love." But something inside me always said, "Go find your beginning." And he did. He followed a feeling. That feeling brought him home. One evening he said, "I want to stay. This is where I belong." My heart felt full. Sarah's eyes were wet. She said, "This house waited for you." So did we. I looked at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." Now I sit by the same door every evening, but I don't feel sad anymore. I watch Liam walk through the yard. I see Sarah smiling in the kitchen, and I say to myself, the pain was long, but love is longer. We lost a son, and then we found him again, and that was our miracle.